Hey everyone, Michelle here at home in Austin. I know last time I shared with you that I started this channel to share cooking and baking and gardening and all the things I like to do here living in Austin, Texas. Today I'm starting with a roast chicken. So this fun story about this one. My sister and I were going to college, and she was far ahead of me in finishing her degree in teaching. So one day I went to visit her where she was teaching and stay with her, and she made this roast chicken for me. So while she was cooking it, I watched her technique, and I was very surprised. You'll see later in this video why. But it's a really fun technique. It's really easy, and boy, do you get the juiciest chicken ever. So here I'm starting with washing the chicken off and drying it really well. And I usually do 2 at a time, but tonight I was just doing the one chicken. I do 2 at a time so I can use the carcass later on to can a lot of chicken broth. And that, my friends, is the best chicken broth you will ever have. So after I've washed and dried the chicken and oiled the back of it, I fill a cavity with some salt and pepper, lemon, garlic sliced in half, the whole head of garlic. I also put in some parsley. You can add thyme, any other flavorings you like, oregano, other spices. This is all up to you. So you want to make sure that everything stays enclosed in the cavity while you're roasting. And I am definitely not proficient at this. As many times as I've done it, it seems to get a little bit slippery. But I finally get the knot tied. So make sure you oil the whole chicken really well. Salt and pepper the outside, because all this is going to add to the gravy later on. So earlier I was talking about using the chicken carcass for chicken broth. And another incredible flavor to add is using chicken carcass from smoked chickens that my husband does outside on the grill. That takes it to another level. We start with the chicken breast side up in an oven set to 400 degrees. I like to prepare the rest of the meal while that chicken is roasting in the oven. So tonight we're going to have mashed potatoes and broccoli with it. And to top that all off, we'll be making some gravy. You might be surprised to know that I made this chicken on a Thursday night. The chicken itself just takes a few minutes to prepare, and then it goes in the oven and roasts, so it's really simple. What you serve with it is all up to you. Sometimes I just buy a salad, and that's as simple as that. Other times I'll make garlic bread to go with it. We've had green beans with it. We've had roasted potatoes with it. But tonight we're doing a family favorite because it's cold outside. We had a cold snap here in February, which we usually do in Texas. But this year is far gentler than it has been in the last couple of years, so I'm grateful for that. Now, you all know how much I love Ina Garten's cookbooks. The recipes in there have just never failed me. She uses the yellow or golden potatoes, not the butter kind, but just regular boiling potatoes for mashed potatoes. I used to use the russet potatoes all the time, and they came out nice and fluffy, but sometimes they would get a little watery because that's just the nature of the potato. But the yellow potatoes just work really great for mashed potatoes. They come out creamy and delicious. Okay, so look what I'm doing. Here is the crazy part about this chicken. Because you fill it with so many great flavorings, you don't want it just to flavor the back of the chicken as it roasts. You know, all the juices from the lemon and the garlic will basically go to the bottom of the chicken in the oven. So every 20 minutes, 3 times you're going to flip the chicken. This distributes the chicken throughout the entire breast, through all the leg meat, through all the meat gets flavored this way. And when I saw my sister do this, I just had to laugh because I was like, what are you doing? Why are you flipping the chicken over? But I tell you what, it is juicy. The flavoring from the garlic gets throughout all the chicken, and you've got the lemon in there just to brighten it. Oh, my mouth is watering right now. I had a friend ask me once for the recipe, and I told her it was 20-minute chicken. She literally thought it only had to cook for 20 minutes. They had all their sides ready. They take the chicken out of the oven and slice into it, and of course it's still raw. So she called me and says, what am I doing wrong? And of course I told her it's every 20 minutes for 3 different times for an hour, and then after that you put it breast up again and check the temperature. I cook it until it's 160 in the breast, and then let it rest, and it will continue cooking to 165 to make it safe. Now for the gravy, literally. Pour off the juices from the pan, set it back on the stove, and add some white wine. This will get all of the delicious chicken roasted brown bits off the bottom. That adds the most flavor to your gravy. That, along with the wine. I turn on the burner, let it steam a little bit, release all the flavorings from the bottom of the pan. It cooks off some of the alcohol, and you're just left with the gravy. I don't know how else to say it. So this will go into my measuring cup as well, and then I add enough chicken broth to make the gravy. I am making 1.5 cups of chicken broth. So I pour in enough chicken stock that I had on hand to get up to 1.5 cup, not including the fat on top. Now I know a lot of people that like to use the fat to make the gravy. I haven't tried that yet, but I think I'm going to next time because that must be really delicious. Today I'm using butter in place of that, and you want to use 2 tablespoons of butter and 2 tablespoons of flour for each cup of broth wine mixture that you end up in your measuring cup. And so as you're pouring it in, after you've cooked the flour and butter to get rid of that raw flour flavor, it's only for like 2 or 3 minutes. You cook it over the stove on lower heat. Then you whisk in the chicken broth, whisking constantly, and you will never have lumps in your gravy. So my husband carved the chicken for us, and you can see how juicy it is. This is just about one of our favorite meals. I can't say how much I appreciate you guys watching today and supporting my channel. I hope you'll come back. There's going to be a lot more delicious food and lots of things happening in Austin, Texas. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching.